Welcome to the very first episode of Bang for the Buck. In this series, we're looking at guitar gear that used to be really expensive when it came out, and today you can pick it up for surprisingly a little amount of money. No hype, no clones, just real products that are still worth checking out, in my opinion. The idea behind Bang for the Buck is simple. We're talking about gear that once was high-end,
real-time control, and tons of programs.
Often professional level equipment that didn't age well in terms of market value, but still delivers today. Each episode, 3 pieces of gear. Let's get started. First up, the Line 6 Pod. When the Pod first came out, this thing was revolutionary. It was one of the first devices that really brought amp modeling into studios and bedrooms at the same time worldwide. Back then, this was not cheap gear. It was positioned as professional recording equipment. Today you can find pods like this one, including smaller or later variants for very little money and for simple recording purposes and practicing and maybe even a backup rig. They absolutely work. You get amp models, effects, direct routing, headphone practice. This thing also has a drum editor, all in one box. And guess what? This one cost me like 35 bucks. For the price these go for now, that's a ridiculous amount of money, and you can practice on that and it's completely fine.
Not too bad, actually. It sounds good. It actually takes this overdrive pedal pretty good.
I'll put a reverb link in the description so you can check out the current prices. So next up is the Roland VG99. This was serious high-end gear when it was released. Advanced guitar modeling, alternate tuning, synth style processing, all in real time.
Now, guitar processing has been taken to an entirely new level. Welcome to the Roland VG99, the most powerful and advanced guitar processor ever made.
This unit was never aimed at beginners. The reason they are so cheap today is simple. It requires a GK pickup and it's a bit of a niche product. But if you're willing to work with that system, the VG99 can still do things most modern units can't. For experimental play, studio work, sound design, or alternate tuning madness, this is an insane bang for the buck in the used market. So again, we will link down in the description. And last but definitely not least, the G system from TC Electronics. When this thing came out, it was a flagship level gear. Studio quality effects, MIDI control, amp switching, the whole thing. This was serious investment back in that day. And I promise you what, I had one of those things. There was an advertisement where they rolled over the G system with several cars and devices and even with a tank.
But driving over it with this. Will it work? Yes!
And try to show how resistant that thing is and how tour ready it is. I think I paid like 1,200 bucks back then, but today you can buy the G system for a fraction of its original price. Yes, it's big, yes, it's complex, but the effect quality is still excellent. It's from the TC Electronics era where like literally the delay effects and the reverb effects and the comps were insanely good and insanely precise. If you're running traditional amp setup and want professional effects, this is still a killer piece of gear for kind of a little amount of money, but let's compare that a little bit. So if I take a modern unit, these effects are fantastic, but it costs you, and the G system costs you, and you have everything in one board. Again, link in the description, and I gotta admit, I'm thinking about now getting one as well. So that's episode 1 of Bang for the Buck. 3 pieces of gear that used to be expensive and today are absolute steals. If you enjoyed this series idea, let me know in the comments and tell me what gear you think deserves a spot in a future episode. And with that, catch you in the next hangout. Thank you for watching.